Greetings and welcome. My name is Aaron Craig with Let's Learn This Together, and this is part 9 of creating a beautiful inventory in GameMaker 2.3. I'm going to be showing you how to increase or decrease the inventory size with just one line of code. So if we change this variable here, max inventory slots, we can now increase our capacity by a significant amount. And you can see there that it just changes immediately, and that's the system that we're going to set up. Be sure to stick around to the end of the video for details on my beginner games course giveaway. First thing we're going to need to do is go into our OBJ controller, and in the create event, I'm going to add a variable. So max inventory slots. We'll start this at 5. Now, however you want to limit the inventory, you need to have some kind of number in here. Our system is actually going to be fairly simple. Because we already have a complex add item script right here, we can just come in and add one more check. And I'm actually going to put it as the very first check inside of here. So we'll say 0th check. That's definitely not how you spell it. 0th check. Do I have space? So we're just going to say if, so every item in your game that is be able to be limited must have this variable name if you want to use the same script. If max inventory slots is less than or equal to ds grid width of the grid we're using. So if our maximum size is 5 and we already have 5 inside of here, we're not going to be able to add any more. So we're just going to say return. And if we do that right away, this will actually start working. And now we can only have 5 items inside of here. But we also want to display that we're not allowed to use them through some way, because otherwise the player might think there's some kind of glitch or something going on. So let's go into the draw event, and I'm actually going to copy this whole thing right here, because we're going to do almost the exact same thing. And actually, I'm just going to go ahead and copy this whole for loop while I'm at it. And we're going to go down here. And before the front of the inventory, I'm going to paste this in, and I'm just going to say locked item slots. So here, the sprite is actually just going to be SPR locked icon. And all that is, well, it's just an icon that I found from gameicons.net. I'm pretty sure that's the place. I should double check that for next time. But it's just right here, and I think it looks pretty good. It fits exactly what I want to do, so I'm going to go ahead and use it. So we're going to use that. This is going to make sure that they're all in the correct space. Now, the only difference is that it's not going to start at 0. This is actually going to start at max inventory slots, and it's going to go until menu height times menu width. Other than that, we just basically do the exact same thing, except we're going to need to draw this at 0.4 and 0.4 because otherwise it's going to be a little too large. So let's press F5 and check it out. And we forgot one more curly brace right there. Do need that when copying an entire for loop. And voila. 0.4 looks a little small, so let's go ahead and change that to 0.5 and try one more time. Now we have locks on everything, and you can clearly see what you're allowed to use and what you're not allowed to use. And to change it, all you have to do is change max inventory slots. So I'll add 10 here. And now we have 10 slots. The items that start making the game of your dreams, then head on over to letslearnthistogether.com to check out my trilogy of courses to take you from beginner to expert. Game development is hard and frustrating when you're going at it alone and you don't have anyone to turn to. Join me on the journey, and I'll be with you every step of the way to alleviate all of that frustration. And by the end, you'll be ready to make any game you can set your mind to. Go ahead and get started now at letslearnthistogether.com. The items that don't get added just kind of disappear. So you probably want to do something more specific with that. And the other thing to think about is if we add an item like this, if we add an item that is actually can be stacked and is adding onto it, well, currently, since we put this at 0th, it'll just return immediately. So we'll actually put it right after this 4th check. So then it becomes the 5th check, and this becomes the 6th check. Now, the reason this will work is even though we are adding items up here, the adding it to the ones that can stack is here, so it has to be after that. And these ones will all get refunded, or not refunded, but they will not work because we actually are going to go through here, we're going to find it can't stack, and we'll eventually hit this before we actually try to add it. So if we do this, we should have 3 blue jellies, even though we added the other 2 after these other ones. So that takes care of that small problem that might arise. And that, I think, is actually it. It's really simple to do. It's just changing that variable and adding in that for loop. Like I said, you're going to want to take care of the items that you can't add, maybe automatically adding some gold to the player or doing something like that. But again, that gets very game specific, and I don't know what your game is like, so I'm not going to try to tell you how that should work. But that's all I've got for you. Super short, super sweet compared to my other tutorials. So if you like this and you want to see more, hit the subscribe, ring the bell, maybe check out the playlist that this video is in for how to create a beautiful inventory in GameMaker Studio from start to finish. And if you want to see more content from me, then go ahead and check out my courses at letslearnthistogether.com. Thank you so much, and as always, keep making, keep learning, and I'll talk to you later. On every GameMaker tutorial and video I put out from here into the future, I'm going to be giving away 1 copy of my beginner game developer course, a great way to go from no programming experience to be able to make your own games. To be entered to win, just like the video and leave a comment showing me your keyboard works. You can leave a comment about anything. A week after the video is posted, I will send you a message with the coupon. If you want, you can use it for yourself, give it to a friend, or apply it towards a more expensive course by just sending me an email and letting me know that's what you'd like to do. If you want to see more content from me, then subscribe and ring the bell to be notified every time I put out a new video. But that's all I've got for you. So thank you so much for joining me, and as I always say, keep making, keep learning, and I'll talk to you later. A huge thank you to all of the awesome people who support me over on Patreon. Their names are on the screen now, and every dollar pledged helps me create more awesome content. You can support me for as little as $1 a month and get access to exclusive perks like my Discord server, your name in the credits, early access to my YouTube videos and courses, and more. Check it out at patreon.com/letslearnthistogether.com or find the link in the description below and become a patron today.